welcome to Paranormal Night in spooky Eureka, the weirdest little town in America, filled with ghosts, demons, entities from other dimensions, Bigfoot, and what some locals call the old gods. Yes, this might be the most paranormal spot in all of America, if not the entire world. Which is why we bring you, quasi-weekly, the Paranormal Open Mic. Hosted by Peter Nelson, co-hosted by myself, Gordon Clatworthy.
Gordon Clatworthy.
Clatworthy. I don't look like a Gordon Clatworthy.
Check. Oh, I gotta turn on the streams. Alright, one last thing, then we'll get this started.
Yeah. See, it's not just me, it's a whole group. It's great.
Alright guys, this is about to be the craziest thing you've ever seen for a live event. What we do? We do Paranormal Open Mic here at the Siren Song Tavern Monday nights. My name's Peter Nelson. You met my co-host Gordon Clatworthy, and we just do a lot of paranormal stuff. We talk about it. We interview people. If any of you have paranormal experiences that you've had that you'd like to share with us, that's what this third microphone is for. And then we also have a wireless microphone where you don't actually have to come on stage, you know. But all this is being streamed right now, and it's just like a really fun thing to have the video of after we do it. So
we're streaming on this, and I'll be streaming on that later, because one thing I've learned is you don't cross the streams.
You don't cross. That's funny. That's Ghostbusters too. So that's like ghostly.
It fits.
Hell yeah. So, we encourage anyone in the audience, you know, if you have a paranormal experience you'd like to share with us, just raise your hand or come on up and help yourself to this middle chair. And then we just ask that if you use up a lot of time on the chair, let someone else on, because we rotate hosts. I also double as bartender tonight. So if you need a drink, flag me down as well for that. That's how this event works, you know. But we like to keep things less involved with, like, you know, psychedelic stuff. If you saw something on psychedelics, that's not what this night is for. It's more about that time that, you know, you heard something thump in the hallway, but there's nothing there at the end of the hallway when you went there. Or if you know anyone who you're sure was possessed, you know. I know we all have that guy or girl in our mind, you know, someone who you just are so sure had a demon controlling them. Come and tell us about it, you know. But also tonight, this event is powered by Weird Howard, which is a social media and media in general entity that Gordon's doing. And so we have a giveaway that we're doing for everyone who comes on and tells their story tonight. You'll get some free giveaway item, and I saw a few of them. They look pretty cool. But yeah, it all revolves around us telling stories and stuff about our experiences with the unexplained, you know. And so if we don't have anyone who immediately wants to come on stage, I have a few that I can share. Gordon, you said you had a few witness testimonies that people sent you through the Weird Howard website. So we can do those too.
Yeah, we have people send in their weird stories, their weird tales of the paranormal.
Man, if they're people with tails, it would be weird for any of them to have a tail. Yeah.
Any smell fitting. So anybody that sends in a tale of something paranormal, I read it for you all here live. And then we just reached 50,000 followers on Facebook.
Boo.
I know. So we're going to do a giveaway in the comments when this is streamed on Weird Howard, not tonight, tomorrow. So if you're in the comments, tell us that you follow us, and you'll get picked for a random drawing of something cool.
Oh yeah.
And anybody that talks tonight will get their pick of any of the items that are up on stage there.
Anyone who talks about their paranormal experiences, right?
Yep, they can get something cool.
Yeah, actually, we might need that later on tonight. I was looking for that, but yeah, that'll be we're using a wireless microphone for anyone who doesn't like being up on stage and stuff. We can still bring a microphone over to you. Anyone get abducted lately? Let's just
jump right in.
Anyone got any chips in their neck, in the base of their brainstem or anything, controlling their thoughts? If that's you, please come tell us about it. Anyone at all? Is it telling you not to come up here and share it with us? Please, just try and beat the inclination to follow the aliens' directive, guys.
Yeah, don't let the aliens win.
Yeah, don't let the aliens win.
Any people can't sleep because of ghosts or loud noises in the middle of the night that aren't your roommates. Yeah. Any Bigfoot sightings? Any sightings of any kind of cryptid?
How about one of the numerous paranormal experiences I've had in my
Come on down, yeah.
Oh,
we
my
got a
goodness,
seat for
yes.
you right in the center. I'd love for you to join us there. Yeah, okay, sweet.
You can bring your drink.
What's your name?
Brynn Lamontagne.
Brynn?
B-R-I-N.
Brynn Lamontagne.
Lamontagne.
My name's Peter. This is Gordon. Welcome.
Nice to
Welcome
meet
on.
you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Peter?
That's Peter. I'm Gordon.
Peter, that's Gordon. Brynn, we'd love for you to say anything and everything you'd like to say about the paranormal. We'll give you the microphone right now.
Well, I was trying to figure out which story to tell you guys on my way down here. I rode my bike, which is kind of scary in itself. And I decided that the first house in Ferndale we moved into on Market Street, it used to be the first house when you're coming into town in the road that went down to our Linda Corners. And there was a nice white, my dad painted it yellow house, and Grandma Clausen, the lady who rented to us, lived about 3/4 of a mile down the street, and that was the only houses on that street in that area, except for way down at our Linda Corners. So I moved in there when I was 5, and Grandma Clausen's son was Don Clausen, who was a congressman.
Not of
Here.
the pickle company, though.
No,
Oh, okay.
no, she was wonderful too. I didn't have any relatives in the area, and being able to call her Grandma Clausen, I found really cool. And she was really into flower gardening, and her house was 4 stories full of all kinds of stuff.
Sounds
Well, the
amazing.
house she rented us, which my family had always lived in, her family, was a 2-story, and it had those cool hidden doors you could pull out and close them, you
I
know?
love those little hidey holes.
Yeah, it had
Yeah.
a parlor, and my parents decided to sleep downstairs, and me and my sister slept upstairs. The very first night we moved in, something came out of my closet, not something, some things with yellow eyes and black irises, and they gathered around my bed and they looked at me.
Did
Yeah.
it make sound or anything?
Nope, just looked at me. I covered my head and tried to wake my sister up and show her what I was looking at, and nobody ever believed me about it.
Not raccoons.
And I hate sleeping under the covers because I can't breathe. I like fresh air. So I just get my nose out and breathe, but I knew that they were out there. That was freaky. And then this other bedroom, which I started sleeping in after a while, faced south towards the cemetery in Ferndale.
Okay.
And at a certain time of twilight, these children's faces would appear at the window. Somehow they could reach their arms all the way in to almost touch us, but never could. They didn't have any eyes, just
They're like multiverse type stuff.
Huh?
It's like multiverse type stuff.
they didn't have any eyes, and every once in a while one of them would open its mouth super wide like a like a silent scream.
This was both in Ferndale, both of these events?
Yeah,
The
same house.
Different
I
Same
told
house.
you, I'll just start off by telling you about the house
Wait,
on Market
That
Street.
is a super haunted house. That
Yeah,
is like
I went,
level 4.
I went there for a
haunted.
toga party when I was in high school, and I asked the host if he knew it was haunted, and he said, "Yeah, this place, yeah, I know it's haunted."
So back to those. So you said
The black-eyed
the-
children.
Oh, before them, the yellow-eyed. Was it
Never
creatures?
solved that mystery. They were something demonic looking at me trying to sleep.
Okay, and then so like more about that. Let's. So what did they look like in
They
terms
were
of
there
stature? Were
all
they
the
tall?
time, harassing me until I got out of that room.
Yeah.
Not harassing me,
So
just
every
looking at
night
me
before bed.
Just in that room.
as I slept, just in that room.
Just in that one room.
That I'm pretty sure they came out of the closet.
And so they had yellow eyes. Were they tall, short? Were they like an
I was a little
apparition?
kid, and I told my parents the eyes were on the ceiling, so they were tall.
Okay, and
Yeah.
they were like black as the night, huh?
Nothing but eyes could be seen.
Okay.
I didn't even see anything darker than dark.
So
Just
they were
the
like
eyes.
shadow people, no? Is that
Shadow people with big yellow eyes.
big
how,
yellow eyes?
How tall do you think they were?
That's like I said, I was a little kid, and it looked like they were on the ceiling to me.
Oh my goodness, on the ceiling.
That's what I
So
thought.
they're
it was.
jaundiced, clearly.
But if I covered myself up with blankets, I couldn't see him. But if I took them down, I could. My sister couldn't see him.
No sound.
Nor
though.
my parents.
And they weren't threatening or touching, like grabbing you or
Not
anything.
one, and that's what was weird about the dark-eyed children from the window.
Because they would
facing
reach. You were
south.
saying.
Somehow they could get their arms to almost touch us. And we'd goof on it. We thought it was crazy. We'd invite our friends over to spend the night
Messing with
and
the
witness
ghosts.
this. Watch this. This time of the night, you're going to see some ghost children, and they can almost touch
And
you.
that's
But
facing
they
the
won't.
cemetery.
But they won't.
It's facing the cemetery, right?
Yeah, it's facing south, and the cemetery is to the south.
What
I
time
love that
was
your
it?
Jack's links.
It was dusk before it was real dark, where you could make your way around at night because you could still see a bit.
Oh, so twilight hours.
It was twilight.
Okay.
And yeah, we had numerous friends that came over from school to spend the night to watch the dark-eyed children.
Okay. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Gordon, I feel like I interrupted you. Did you?
Oh no. I was just like, why would you like tease them? It's like
We
teasing.
wouldn't. We'd lay there in bed perfectly still.
No, you were like, they'd get right there and then I'd say,
They were spectacle. How could you not?
well, like, it sounds like,
We
you
weren't
know those
teasing them,
commercials
they
where
were
you-
always there
where you
no matter
tease
what.
the Sasquatch?
Yeah.
Where you're like, haha, look at
Had
this. I got
nothing
a-"
to do with
meat stick.
disrespecting the dead. It
That's
just
fair.
was spectacle, and we'd show our friends.
I mean, it's cool, and you have other witnesses that saw this, and it all came from one
And that's just
ultra haunted
two
house.
rooms in the house.
Yeah, let's
The
hear
yellow
room three.
eyes and the dark-eyed children with their hands that could reach in but not touch.
What
them.
about what's another room that's worth commenting on from that house? Was it? It was a straight up
other
haunted
room.
house.
I think
Where the
parlors.
window is facing north? I was all by myself at home one day, and I opened the door, and there was this deformed. Not all little people are deformed, and not bad. It's easy to get used to, though. It's normal for our little people. But this thing was hideously deformed little man, and all he had on was a red vest with that golden rickrack on it, and a red hat with that golden rickrack on it.
What's a rick
And
rack?
he laughed and screamed at me. You ever go into your mother's sewing box and you find rickrack? It's gold. You can sew it onto your clothes. Anybody know what rickrack is?
Metallic.
Embroidery?
Well,
Is it-
embroidery is different. That's done with a needle. Rickrack is like a ribbon. It's like a ribbon that you apply to your clothes.
like on band clothes.
So it was like red felt with golden rickrack, and he did this hideous laughing scream, and nobody was home, so I went out and waited by the gate for somebody to come. And there was a barn too, but I'll save that for another time.
You gonna come back to this again?
Yeah, I just learned about you.
Hell yeah.
And I thought, gosh, which paranormal story? I usually hide a place inside my journals. I get one for every year. I call it Brynn Lamontagne's 58th year of life.
Hell yeah. I
And
love
in the
it.
middle, I put the what the hell was that files? And I write about my paranormal experiences.
Damn, that's a good name for this. I should have.
What the hell was that files? Hey, you guys can use that if you want to. It might attract more people. I don't know.
Yeah,
I am an
maybe.
advertising genius.
What do you advertise?
You name it, I advertise it. I used to do Pampers commercial nationally.
Was that you on the commercial when I was a kid?
I don't know. I worked for ABC Radio down in Dallas. They do rip and read. They rip something off and you have to read it.
Okay.
That sounds
yeah.
amazing. That sounds like a lot of
And
fun.
I'm proud of myself because during the, for some vain reason as a kid, I strapped metal all around my teeth and yanked them around my mouth until they were in an order I thought looked pretty. Vanity got the best of me. Not good for my mouth. Then I got hacked by a hacker and I had no communication with the outside world during COVID. And the anguish made me grind my teeth. And I always thought when I was younger, if I ever lost one tooth, I would never talk in front of people again or say another word ever. So I just got up here and did it for the first time.
You did amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, Brynn.
Thank you.
You're allowed to stick around if you want to. I mean, like, I'm having fun talking to you. You got some good stories.
I hope you all are going to get up here and
What
tell
we
about your
need-
experience.
I think
We need people like you to come back
I'm
every
gonna
week,
switch out the
Brynn.
mics for you
Hey,
real quick.
I
We
got
gotta
so
switch
many
a mic out.
stories. And I'm a
Hell
dream.
yeah.
I've been studying my dreams since I was 14. I'm a dream researcher.
This one is my comedy one right here.
Okay, this one is probably gonna pick people up better.
Then, all right, cool.
Did you
Not need it. Hold on.
did you think when she said hacked by a hacker?
The
Were you-
hacker of Wincoville.
Like, no, I mean-
Is that the right one? Oh yeah.
In my head, you know, I'm in this paranormal horror mindset, so I'm like hacked.
Oh, a hacker.
Yeah, I
Like
was like,
hack
oh,
and
man.
slash.
That sounds
No.
horrible. Oh no, they got
No, I
it.
meant the guy with the cell phone tower simulator.
I hate those guys.
That's cool. I mean, it's not. I mean, like the science is interesting.
The
It's not.
military and law enforcement developed it and it got into the hands of criminals. Now they're ripping everybody off, keeping Tom
I'll
on
just
it,
volume, but
recording them.
it will work better.
And those come up
I
here.
got the power. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot
So
more.
hold on, let me unmute.
Hashtag gains. All right, guys. Thank you so much, Brynn, for giving us some stories. And, you know, I love the fact that you said you're going to come back in the future to tell some stories, too. I look forward to that. I really think that the yellow eyes stuff, that messes with me, man. Eyes have always messed with me since I was a kid.
On the ceiling.
On the ceiling,
Two.
yeah.
That's
No, they had bodies, you just couldn't see them.
what. Yeah. Somehow that's worse.
Eyes always mess with me. When I was a kid, I used to be afraid that I would see eyes, but like nothing else. So that actually struck a chord with me. And when I was a kid, I used to be afraid of red eyes, and so the yellow eyes that was interesting to see the difference. And you know, I just was really afraid of red eyes after I saw the Terminator movie, Terminator 2. And that was what was scary back then in like 1994, 95. To me, as like a 5 or 6 year old, was the Terminator movies. I don't know how I managed to get past that fear and move to Humboldt County where everyone's eyes are red now in the future. But here we are. Your microphone seemed good. You like
Oh
that?
yeah, no, I like this. This sounds
Hell
good.
yeah. Well, guys, those of you just joining us, this is Paranormal Open Mic here at the Siren Song Tavern. We do this most Mondays. We stream it. You can follow us on Paranormal Open Mic on Instagram. And then I think we're actually streaming this to the Siren Song page tonight as well. If you guys enjoy anything you see, this isn't like a paid event, but we accept like tips and stuff. And then I also got some funny shirts over here that I sell as part of my comedy stuff that I do. So thank you, Siren Song Tavern, for having us, giving
Marvin,
us this
could you
opportunity
grab
for some
those,
fun stuff.
Books and
And oh yeah, we have the giveaway that
Yeah.
we're doing tonight. So Weird
Just
Howard
put
is.
it on this table right here. And then if you were just up here, so if you want to go through and get your first pick because you were the first one up. you can grab anything from that pile.
I'd love for her to show us, you know.
Oh, yeah.
If she wants to bring it up and show us which one, because there's some interesting literature over there.
Technology.
Okay, then there are books too, and stickers.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Brynn's checking out some of the giveaway material that we have tonight. Those of you, anyone in the audience who has some paranormal stories they'd like to share with us, we've got an open share again. And until then, you know, it might be a fun little thing. I have a story that kind of got this night started off that I like to tell, and it's about when I was a kid, like 5 or 6 years old. Actually 4 or 5, I think. I was I was in my childhood bedroom, you know, and I was looking across the bedroom through the window, and my brothers were sitting facing me below it. And this is a true story. When I was a kid, I had 2 older brothers that liked to make fun of me at that age. They would always give me a hard time, especially at the end of the day when I'm trying to just like relax and go to bed. And this night was weird and different because behind them I saw this like jelly bean floating in the sky. And it was, I don't know what it was to this day, but I remember what it looked like, and it had like a sort of light bulb type glow to it, which is interesting. I'll get to why it's interesting after, but the glow sort of had, it doesn't look the same with these glasses on, but yeah, when I take them off, it has the same glow as the filament in these Edison bulbs that we have up. And it was just one big jelly bean shape floating silently in the sky, and I remember it was on the right side of the window. It floated over past the left side of the window, and then as soon as it had passed to the other side of the window, I pointed it out to my brothers because I was just captivated the whole time. I was like, guys, turn around, there's a thing. And by the time they looked, it was gone. Nothing was there to be seen. And being the only witness to whatever the hell that was, it kind of like bothered me most of my childhood through now. And I don't know what I saw, and I'll never know, but what it did was kind of make me more interested in the worlds that we live in. You know, there's the one that we're here right now watching this paranormal night in, but you know, there's the stuff that only you see, only you feel and experience in your mind. There's dreams, crazy dreams that we go places, that we see things, that we experience, out-of-body experiences, and travel who knows where. All we know is that we're sensing these different environments. And it's so cool. And I don't have an explanation for anyone. I'm not trying to tell you what happens through our lives and our development in our mind and what happens after, you know, after this life. But I love to think about what cool stuff there might be and engaging in conjecture about it. So, you know, after seeing some cool stuff, I know that I wanted to talk to people about it, and there's no real spot to talk to people about it, so now there is. Here we are at the Siren Song Tavern, Monday nights, talking about ghosts and stuff. Guys, how many of you have had a friend contact them from beyond the grave? I know there's someone out there.
Oh, there we go.
Brynn's been up here. We'll have you on again next week, Brynn, or maybe later on tonight. Buddy over here, would you like to come share your story with us? What's your name?
Name's Marvin.
Marvin. Everyone, give Marvin a big round of applause for coming on stage with us tonight. Marvin, how are you doing today, sir?
How good I'm doing.
Yeah, just sit down. Yeah.
Okay, is this phone working, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm alive, right? I'm alive. Are you alive there?
Yeah, we're live right now. We're on the Siren Song Tavern page and Paranormal Open Mic page. And we got a really good camera recording us right here. It's
So, are you getting my good side? Anyway, so it's nice for you guys to be here. Oh God, there's a lot of stories to tell. You know, there's a demand for this. It's just like you don't know where to go if you experience something. Where you want to go? You want to talk to a psychologist? You want to talk to a priest? No, it's hard. You know, like you're in that very thin line where where reality and you're involved and out there. Anyway, yeah, I have a lot of experiences. Well, not the same like what you see on TV, but I remember I've never seen a ghost, but there's something that I experienced when I was at Sequoia Park. I was just walking this trail, and there's this, I don't know if you've been there, but there's this small waterfall over there. It's like a miniature waterfall, and then you go up the stairs. So I remember one time, it was a nice afternoon, overcast, no rain, very beautiful day. So there's this wide open space, and then I went through this trail, and I saw this little small waterfall on the side. I went up the stairs, and then when I turned around, like I saw this guy on the other side of the trail. Wait a minute, where that guy came from? If he was just walking in the other direction. I said, wait, how come I never seen him before? It's like I could have, if he was in the same trail, I would have crossed into him. And I looked back and said, where did that guy came from? I could have seen him walk past me, but no, there's nothing. So when I look around, like I see this human, human form, like regular people, just like you and me, It's like, at first I thought it was just one of those exercise buff, wearing a black,
Like a
everything
jogger.
black, like a jogger, like from head to toe black.
Cross-country runner.
Yeah, something like that. And then,
It's called jogging.
yeah, something like that. So at first I said, okay, that's weird. But where did he came from? So I was scratching my head, and then I looked back a split second, gave it a double take, and he's not there. I said, where did he go? It's just like, it was an open space. There's no way it's not like he had this super speed, like he could just disappear in a blimp, It's just like,
What do you think happened?
I don't know. I can't, I don't know. It's just one of those things. My only suspicion is, well, I'm also sensitive, Well, from my point of view, all I could think of is probably someone who died a long time ago. He loves this place. He always trekked this place. He always ran in this area, and he's just, and he left a pattern, like a recording in that area. So
Residual energy.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like
Residual
that.
energy.
Yeah,
You like to jog, and
yeah,
that's
and then
what he's doing forever.
that's his history over there. I never felt anything because when I was walking by, if it is a spirit or if it's an entity, I would have felt it. That's how sensitive I am. Like, what's the name of this building? I don't know. I've never been there. This is my first
the
time.
Healy Brothers
Okay.
building.
Well, yeah. Anyway, like this building, this is my first time being here. As soon as I walked in, 5 minutes later, I felt like this hot flash, like you're having a hot flash. And then I get, okay, this place is haunted. Well, not in a bad way. Just, I don't know what haunted means to you, but to me, it's just, okay, there's something going on here, and I felt.
Tell us more about that. What did you feel? How did you feel it?
I felt the presence. Like I'm not sure if it's an old man or probably like a middle-aged woman.
What did it feel like to receive this sensation?
I didn't figure it out until I analyzed it like 10 minutes later because it takes a while for my brain cells to figure things out. Anyway, so the message I'm getting is from this entity is like, oh, I'm so glad you're here. Like, I'm so glad you're here, and don't be so uptight. Just sit down and make yourself feel at home. Yeah, that's the feeling I got. Cool. So this is my first time here, and I see, and then the impression, the feeling just disappeared like 10 minutes later. That was like half an hour ago. So it's like, please kind of calm down now.
I think ghosts will want to be acknowledged. I think if I was trapped between dimensions, I would want somebody to say, hey, get out of my house.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, I don't know. So
Prayer, can I pray?
So I'm not sure if it's true that this place is haunted, but that's from my point of view. That's what I'm feeling. That's how
I believe
sensitive
it.
I am.
Yeah, and
Yes.
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was sort of what I was thinking about with Brynn, what Brynn was saying earlier about how the ghosts came from your closet. And I had an experience recently where I was joking with one of my friends and I said, hey, who's that guy in the closet behind you? Because it was just my friend and I, and that was it, that were in the room, and I wanted to scare her. But then so the energy changed in the room, and I kind of felt like I spoke a closet thing into existence, because later on, like 3 different examples, I would hear stuff over in that corner of the closet that I pointed at.
Damn it, Peter.
I would hear stuff move in the night.
It
And
was
then
always there, it was just smashing it in your face.
Yeah, and so exactly. At the end of it, I someone walked by twice, and they walked by the closet once, and they stopped and looked in the closet, and then kind of moved their shoulders around like they felt a chill, and then they walked by, and I saw that, and I was like, oh my God, this person has no idea that that's the same area of the closet that's been messing with me. Like, what's going, like, and so they didn't say anything, I didn't say anything, and then later on that day, they walk by it again, they stop, and they look in the closet at the exact spot that I'm thinking about, and they're like, Peter, I don't know what's going on, but I would swear there's something in your closet right here. And they just point at this spot in the closet, and there's this concept of a thing, I think it's called a tulpa, and it's basically like you focus your energy and manifest as much as you can into this belief of, you know what I'm talking about?
It's on the
Damn it,
internet.
Peter.
And so, what's that, Brynn?
Like the break on the internet. There's so many people thought of it. The consciousness.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's there's a name for that, but I don't know. But there's so many areas
Collective
that.
consciousness, spooky things.
Yeah, and so I feel like I brought this thing into existence like a real life boogeyman, and that is just frightening, right? Just
Oh, yeah.
having something. So I forgot to close the closet door. I'm kind of a doofus. I'm dumb, and I didn't close the closet door this one night that I had to sleep in this room. And so I just stared at this closet door all night, and I left the lights on and played South Park as loud as I can. And I was up for like all hours, but like 2 hours of the night. I felt like it was the movie The Babadook, you know, where it's just like, cannot sleep. There's something messing with me, you know. But that was a real life thing, so that scares me. You know, the closet things, the yellow eyes, you know, like what's,
This
oh
is
man.
a walk-in closet that was very, very long with the door to a secret passageway at the end.
Oh,
We
really?
don't have to worry about that anymore because nobody can afford a walk-in closet now.
Yeah.
We're good.
This was an old Victorian built on stilts so the floods wouldn't wash it away.
Oof.
Hell yeah.
I find that there are, so I used to go out ghost hunting for fun, and I find that there's some people that are really, really sensitive to ghosts, and some people are quasi-sensitive to ghosts. So I went with two people, and one person saw, we went to a graveyard, because that's what you do. And one person saw like a gray blob running around this headstone. And the other person saw it was a little girl, and he could make out details of, and doing the same thing. And the grave belonged to a little girl.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of graveyard, I have another story. And speaking of graveyard, can you hear me now? And speaking of graveyard, there's another story for me to tell, but I don't know. It's just like I said, use your own best judgment. You know, just like I said, it's from my experience. Okay. So a few years ago, a friend of mine lost a child. You know, never had a chance to say goodbye, and you know, and she told me where her child is buried. You know, so she told me, okay, yeah, she's buried in this graveyard, in this cemetery. You know, she just said. She only told me the area, but she never told me the specific spot. Because I was thinking like, yeah, okay, fine, I'm just gonna visit him, you know. I mean, it's not like I don't think I'll have a hard time finding his graveyard because there's a name on it, right? Well, guess what? So one day I decided, okay, I'm gonna visit my friend's, you know, her child's graveyard. Well, the thing is, there's one thing she never told me. She never told me, oh, there's no name on the graveyard. You know, I ordered some, you know, what do you call that? The thing that you put in the graveyard,
Like a
plaque.
map?
A plaque or some, I don't know, what's the...
Headstone?
Headstone. Headstone or a name or something for the
An
tombstone.
epitaph.
Something like that. Anyway, she said she ordered those, but because of the COVID, everything got delayed, so you have to wait like a year or 6 months before she can engrave a name for her son's child. You
And
know.
things are just getting more and more haunted the more you wait.
Uh,
Thanks, COVID.
Anyway, wow, I agree with that. Anyway, so I decided to visit her son, her child, in that area. I said, oh, that's the cemetery, that's where. So I decided to visit. Okay, oh, it's so easy, you know. Since I'm here, I'm just gonna look where And I'm sure I'll find him. I know his name, I know his last name, I know his debut. So I kept looking and said, that's weird. And I was like, I know it's right over here, but I can't find the name. So it's just like, that's weird. So guess what I did for the next hour? I checked every grave looking for his name. I mean, seriously, like, but then there's this, at the back of my mind, there's this nagging thought telling me, like, okay, you should go back to that particular spot. It's like, really? You know, at first I thought, am I going crazy? It's like, it was like, Anyway, so I kept going back to that spot, and there's this grave, and there's no name in it. You know, there's some other graves, but different name. I mean, why do I keep coming back to this grave? There's nothing here. So I just ignored that voice coming behind my ear. So I spent the next 45 minutes checking every grave. Said, oh, it's got to be here somewhere. It's got to be here somewhere. I'm starting to worry. Oh my God! I hope this other folks that are resting are not bothered by me, because I keep searching. And then suddenly all this, like I said, like a hot flash kind of feeling, telling me, look in that direction. Anyway, so it's getting cold now at the cemetery. Overcast is getting cold, and it's time to get windy. I said, okay, I'm gonna go home. I'm tired. I've been.
Too much fun in the cemetery today.
No, not really. It was just
Gotta
like
go put my feet up.
I was about to leave. Anyway.
Bunch of energy vampires.
Okay, so I was about to leave, and then I kept calling the mom. She's not answering her phone for some reason, So guess what? When I was about to leave, guess what? The phone rings. And then she asked me, what are you doing right over there in that city? I said, well, I'm here to visit your son. Oh, really? Oh, there's only one problem. I can't find his grave. I said, oh, I'm so sorry, Marvin. I forgot to tell you. There's no name. I said, no, now you're telling me. It's like, and then, can you tell me where his grave is? And then she described it, what it looks like. There's no, you won't miss it. It's just like the one with the fence and the black fence. And guess where I'm standing? Like 3 feet away. I'm in front of, oh God, sorry, just the emotions just keep coming back.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting.
And she, God, I know. If you were there, I don't know if you're gonna laugh or you're gonna cry. So she said, okay, that's where his graveyard looks like this. And I was just like three feet away, right in front of her son's grave. And at that point, I said, oh my God, I'm just gonna call my friend Betty, because I don't want to give her name yet. I said, Betty, you're not gonna believe this, but I'm standing right in front of you. In front of your son's grave, and then, oh my God, she started crying the other side. And I lost it. I don't know if it's exhaustion or something. Even though I'm sensitive and I'm psychic, I believe in science. It's like there's always logical explanation. But this one defies my logical explanation. It's like, what is going on? It's like, I know, but oh come on, it can't be that serious. Maybe it's just a coincidence, It's just like. And she said, oh, I'm sorry, Marvin, I didn't answer your phone because I was busy this morning, and I went back to sleep. And then when I woke up, I saw my son's picture on the computer on the laptop when I turned it on, and then I saw your message, and then that gave me the hint I should call you back. And then I was freaking out. I said, oh, Betty, it's like, I talked to Betty and said, Betty, I'm not going to believe this. I spent almost an hour looking for your son's grave, and I kept coming back at this particular spot. And now I feel guilty, It's like a part of me feels guilty, like I never listened to your son telling him where he was buried, And now imagine this when I was explaining it to her. There's like 15 feet away, there's a couple. Imagine there's an old couple 15 feet away, hearing me telling my friend, like, your son just told me he was buried right here. I don't know if this is kind of funny, but I don't think I'd be scared or funny. After everybody left, I just collapsed. I just took a nap right next to her son's grave, for 15 minutes. And another couple waked me up thinking, make sure that I'm okay, But It's just one of those
Yeah, it's
things.
kind of disconcerting if you find someone like on their back in the middle of a cemetery
Well-
and they're not moving. You know, they might sketch out people. It's like, is this like an early arrival? Is the hole not dug
People
yet?
are dying to get in there.
People are dying to get in the cemetery. Literally.
Everybody moves, come on!
Anyway, so yeah, but anyway, thank you for listening.
Thank you,
it's
Marvin.
just one of. Is there anybody else who wants to share a story? Or
Yeah. Marvin, you got, are you going to be grabbing one of our giveaway things over there?
Thank you so much.
Hell yeah, thank you, Marvin. Everyone put your hands together for Marvin. Hell yeah.
You know, there's always, it's weird how many coincidences occur when we're dealing with spirits and ghosts. And
What are you dealing with spirits all the time for? I don't deal with spirits and ghosts every day.
they get the good stuff.
They got the good stuff. Are you dealing in ectoplasm?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jesus.
No, come on, man. No, it's just that coincidental. You know, I was thinking about this, and then somebody calls when I'm thinking about that, and then I see a picture of the same person that I'm thinking about.
There
You know,
are no coincidences.
yeah, there are. Are there?
Only
Or are
happy
there
little
not
mistakes, right, Bob Ross?
coincidences?
Is that what?
Just a universe trying to tell you something.
Does anybody have a story of weird paranormal coincidences they want to share?
Any
See a
weird
couple people.
paranormal coincidences? Guys, thank you for coming out. Those of you just joining us, we are streaming. Brynn pointed out that we might want to tell people that we are streaming. We do have, this is getting put onto our web pages that we do for this and
I've
stuff.
had 3 stalkers in my career.
3 what?
Stalkers.
3 stalkers.
I mean, that's just good for viewership, though.
Not
Yeah,
me,
huh?
I'm a private person.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I
You
feel
gotta
you,
go back
Brynn.
and cut out my face.
All right.
We'll do that. Yes, we will. We will do that. We can blur it. We'll blur it. You know what I want to do is I want to do this entire event with a voice modulator, so you can't tell what my voice sounds like, and then like it'll just be me up here. I don't know. I can't do a good impression. This isn't comedy night though. But you know, welcome to Paranormal Open Mic. Follow us on Instagram at Paranormal Open Mic. This is powered by Weird Howard, which is some really good fun media-related things you can check out on Facebook or WeirdHoward.com.
Weird Howard, Twitter at Weird Howard.
At Weird. What do you tweet?
Just random BS.
Random BS. You too can get more random BS in your life by following Weird Howard.
No, we had some really cool people send us.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Can we have some
go ahead.
send in stuff?
Yeah.
Gordon, where did these come from? First off, before we read them.
Both of these people wish to remain anonymous, but
What are their names?
Given the option.
Just say their names
Ram
right now.
and
I wish
Slap.
for a lot of things too, but we're gonna get down. They wish to remain anonymous, and then these are witness accounts. Would you call them,
yeah.
or
So
what?
this one is a witness account. They saw something while they were driving to Alaska. So that's going to be more cryptid. But we did start touching on aliens, and this is an alien story.
All right. Do you want to let everyone else decide which one we do first?
Yeah. So do you want the cryptid encounter or the alien story?
Go with the cryptid first.
What?
Since we've seen so many.
Let's do it by applause for by applause for cryptid. Let's hear it. All right, now by applause for alien. That's like a tie. That's an annoying. All right, let's read them simultaneously. You read one, I'll read the other one over here. They wanted it. They wanted it this way. We're gonna do that.
Read half of one.
Yeah. Switch one word with the other word.
Yeah, popcorn.
All right.
Yeah, let's Gordon, you pick out one. We'll keep it on theme for once because the show goes off the rails like
It does.
like an Ohio freight train, you know? This stuff is always off the rails.
All right.
here.
Let me. I'll read the cryptid story first.
All right, guys, we got some cryptid stuff. Hey, don't forget to be buying stuff at the bar. We have a sweet food menu. We got some other stuff on tap.
Tip your
delicious drinks.
bartender.
Don't forget to tip your bartender. You can always tip us because we're not, this isn't a ticketed show. Really helps me buy more beer if you guys give me money to do that. So
you're
you can
on
always do that. Anyone wants to buy me a beer, please buy me a beer. I'll take a swipe right if anyone wants to buy me a beer. They're $8. I must warn you, though. They're really delicious. I'm not gonna
I'm
install
sorry,
any.
the beer is called Swipe Right?
Yeah, the beer is called Swipe Right.
I thought you were like making an internet joke, but the beer
It's
itself.
called Swipe Right, yeah, and then they have another one, Friends with Benefits. It's a really sexual cider company if you think about it. They'll have Bigfoot on the label though, so it's like, what are you gonna do?
Are you swiping right on Bigfoot?
I wouldn't. Bigfoot
No.
would smell. I imagine. What if his feet are normal size? Or is it a he?
I would
What
just
if
be
it's
so
a she?
disappointed.
A she
I'd be so
Bigfoot?
disappointed. I'm like,
Haven't you seen both?
Huh? I haven't seen a Bigfoot. We haven't had many big. I think there's a Bigfoot story that someone was gonna say. Oh hell yeah! Who do we got? Marvin, can you grab my beer from Liza and run it up to me? I would appreciate that.
this is what you get when you
This
come
is
up with a
teamwork.
story.
This is
You
teamwork.
get to come up and bring us drinks.
All right, so we're gonna get into this cryptid story. Thank you so much, Marvin. Oh
Yeah,
hell
we
yeah!
talked about
Thank you.
UFOs, we've talked about aliens, we've talked about ghosts, we've talked about paranormal entities.
How's
so
the energy of the room right now? Is everyone feeling like, is this what we're getting into? Everyone
like
wants to
this?
hear the cryptid
Thumbs
story.
up.
Are you guys captivated?
People to get on stage and talk.
Alright, well, we'll
we used to
get
do
there.
like 4 microphones for one of these shows. We had 4 people talking over each other. It was amazing. It was an incredible experience. You know what? Just for commentary, because I love his commentary. Robert, did you want to come on and do commentary? Gordon, you're going to read us the story about cryptids. Come take a seat, Robert.
Alright.
Robert's great with this kind of stuff just because of his contributions, are just always really fun.
So this was sent in to us through our Weird Howard page. And if you have your own story and you want it read, just send us a DM. We'll give you all the information to get it. So here we are. Back when I was in college, home for winter break, my best friend and I decided to drive up to Fairbanks from Anchorage. We took the new highway. It was shorter, so it was only about 500 miles, and we
Only?
liked to drive.
What year was this? Did they say?
Doesn't matter what
500
you-
miles
that
on
highway
today's gas
sucks.
prices?
That highway does suck.
They couldn't do anything to make it not suck.
There's not much on the highways in Alaska, even now, and there was less then. It was January, dark, cold, with snow flurries, when we headed back from Fairbanks. We hadn't seen another car in a while, and we were in a flat, wooded area. I was driving, and my friend was dozing off in the front seat. All of a sudden, off to the left of the road, I see something big coming for the highway to cross it. Except it wasn't walking on the ground. It was maybe 4 feet above the highway. And when I say something big, I mean the size of a bus.
A bus-sized
A
cryptid?
bus-sized cryptid
I've never
floating.
heard of a thing. Has anyone ever heard of a bus-sized cryptid?
Bus-sized floating cryptid.
How would you hide a bus? It's a cryptid. You're not supposed to
I
find them
Alaska
easily. It's
is
the
a
size of a bus.
huge
What if we had like...
uninhabited.
I heard
What-
of Huey helicopters moving a boat up there through the sky.
Well, let's keep going and let's see.
It was 4 feet off the highway though, so they'd be flying
Sounds
pretty
like a
low.
It was maybe 4 feet above the highway. And when I say something big, I mean the size of a big bus. It looked like it was made of swirling snow, but it wasn't see-through. It had a head like a polar bear, but the feet or legs of an elephant or rhino maybe. They were stubby. It wasn't moving fast, just ambling in the snow. I figured I'd been driving too long. So I turned to my friend to tell her to take the wheel, and she's awake, staring out the window, and says, "Did you see that?" "Like, what do you see?" I asked. "It's like a cross between a bear and something else. Those feet are stubby. Like an elephant?" Yeah, like short elephant legs. We watched it finish crossing the road, walking off into the wind and the night. It never took any notice of us. But I wonder if we hadn't had the headlights on, if we'd seen it at all. I wonder what would have happened if we'd hit it. But I wasn't afraid when I saw it. Just a sense of wonder. Like I'd seen one of the winter spirits in person, which is what I think happened. I know humans try and make shapes into pictures, and if my friend hadn't described those stubby feet legs just as I saw them, I would have thought I was hallucinating. But I don't think we would have had seen the same thing. So that's my story of seeing one of the old ones walking on a snowy winter night in Alaska.
Residual energy of a
Residual.
woolly mammoth migration path.
Brynn, you're like trying to get a co-hosting position, aren't you? I'm this close to having you be a regular co-host. Hey, here, Brynn, that's crazy. I agree. What? So stubby feet, it's in the middle of the snowy road. What? It's an old one? It's the size of there's so many different things that are
It's
bothering
very
me about this story.
confusing, and it could be anything. Is it a physical thing? It's floating though, and it's the
It's
size
floating.
of a bus, and it's got stubby wool.
Where
Yeah,
was the
maybe.
Goodyear blimp at the
It
time?
could be a huge
Oh.
elemental, an earth spirit.
Yeah, there you go.
Robert, what's your contribution? Let's hear it.
Oh, I was thinking about etiquette and politeness, how if you do away with it, if it's okay to do away with it, say at like 3 a.m. when you're having conversation, doing away
Is
with
this
things.
about the cryptid?
No, it's about. I have to see the cryptid now because
Just
you
talk about a
might be
cryptid.
right. If you brought it.
You heard what we were describing with that cryptid, right? With it's floating off the ground. It's got the short, stubby feet. It's in
It's
the
the
snow.
size of a bus.
It's the size of a bus floating in Anchorage, Alaska.
But
Like-
you know, it might not have been floating because the way light hits snow, sometimes snow refracts light just the right way.
Yeah.
So it could look as if it was floating.
What do you
But-
think it could have been, Robert?
Maybe it was a woolly mammoth.
I saw X-Files where the Area 51 had something go on extra strange one night, and it fused a person with an animal, and then it made it.
That would be a really bad day for the person. I would be so bummed. It's like, oh great, now I'm fused with an animal.
I mean,
Still
it'd
got a
be a-
date though, you know.
It'd be a
just
bad
gonna-
day for the animal too, because now it's
Yeah.
like, I was
Now it
able
has to pay
poop
taxes.
anywhere, and now I
You
have to
know?
pay taxes. Damn it.
That's what I always like. I always feel really bad for like animals in the woods because if I get hit by a car, I go to the hospital. If like a moose like gets its foot stuck in a rock and it like breaks its leg, like that's it. You just got a broken leg now. Period. There's no like veterinarian roaming the woods to like find animals that are injured. That's not a thing. So
Yeah,
you're
that'd be
just
a really
that's
good
it.
Discovery
You guys
show.
ever have like
That's like natural selection.
yeah, Bigfoot is the doctor. Bigfoot is administering all this care to animals. That's why whenever you see animals, they're fine. You know, it's because
Natural
Bigfoot was
selection
there.
never came up with cars though. They weren't like
Bigfoot lives in the mountains and controls the weather.
freaking
Brynn again. Brynn, can we bring a fourth chair and microphone up and just have Brynn
These
be
are
on?
fictional storylines.
Go ahead.
I'm really glad people are discovering the paranormal open mic.
Brynn, you better be here every week. I swear to God. Guys, everyone.
I have to
clap.
say I like you too, Brynn.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, all 10s from this.
All sense, yeah. We gotta have scorecards for this. That we just score things. That would be fun. Hey, anyone just joining us? You're here at Paranormal Open Mic at the Siren Song Tavern. We do this Monday nights for the most part. Sometimes we do music shows, in which case, please still come to the Siren Song Tavern. We got live stuff every night of the week.
I think
Here.
like 4 of these people really wanted a music show, and they're like, "Damn it,
Yeah.
Weirdos again.
I don't know. Cryptids is music to my ears for a lot, for me, and for a lot of people I know. We need more Bigfoot. We need more aliens. We need. Oh yeah, we have an alien witness account, right, Gordon?
We do.
I'd love to-
But before I read it, I want to take a quick break.
Yeah. I'll just keep the show going while
All
you break if you
Yeah,
want, because
I'm
I think do anything you gotta, and then I'll keep this thing going, and then when you need to, just rejoin.
Okay.
Yeah, that works. And then also, I think we owe a giveaway to someone, do we not? Is that just going to be Robert? Did Marvin get anything?
Marvin, did you get
I got
something?
something
And you got
really
something?
cool.
Robert,
Hell
you can
yeah.
grab something if you
Brynn,
want.
what one did you pick out?
The mythology of North America.
That's a
The
good one.
mythology of North America. That's rad.
Maybe it's got
And
some
then-
Wendigos in it.
Just for being in the audience, anybody want one thing? Raise your hand. If you want to take a pic from the free giveaway.
The
pack.
giveaway. No purchase
You? All right, go
necessary.
Right here, right at this table.
But hell yeah, that sounds, where were we? There was like, so you needed to adjust the thing.
Yeah, I'll be
Come
right
back on when you want, and then I was gonna talk to Robert in the meantime. But guys, give Gordon a big round of applause for helping us out doing all this. Brian, you got your drink from earlier, right, Brian? We had your drink over there. Beautiful. That's awesome.
Anything
So yeah, let's see. Oh, we're gonna get into aliens and stuff. So eventually we'll do the
All right.
alien interview thing. Guys, is anyone else? I'll take my sunglasses off so I can see. Is anyone else trying to go on and tell any stories about anything unexplained? You guys, any fans of Unsolved Mysteries, guys? I love that TV show. I wish they'd do an episode about my cell phone. That thing goes missing and I find it dead all the time, you know?
That's why you should not own one.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I want to get rid of my cell phone, but then it's like it has everything that I do on it every day. I wake up and I look at my phone until it's time to go to bed, and then I do, where is it right now? We're streaming with it. It's very frustrating to not have my phone in my hands right now. I just want my phone in my hands. Anyone get angry when they don't have their phone in their hands? I want it in my pocket right now.
I refuse to carry one.
Yeah. That's how they get you, right?
No, the GPS location locates me for my stalker.
I just don't feel like I'm that important, to get that much attention. Like, I'm up on a stage with lights on me, and I still don't get followed home, But that's because I don't do anything, like, valuable or worth time for people to stalk me, I imagine. Anyone have any paranormal stories, ghost stories? Do you know anyone who is possessed? Do you know anyone, what's something that we have never touched upon here? What's paranormal in a way that's just completely foreign to us? We got one. Come on down. What's your name here? I couldn't hear you, I'm sorry. Alandra, thank you for joining us, Alandra. Make yourself comfortable. We would love to hear your story, Alandra. Everyone, put your hands together one more time for Alandra. You got the microphone. Let's hear it all.
All right. Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Alandra.
Thank you. All right. So this is a third-person story, but it's one that's always creeped me out a little bit. Particularly because growing up, my mom and my aunt had a number of these stories. And I was kind of always like waiting to grow up and have weird shit happen to me, but it never quite transpired that way. So I will, thus far in my few decades here, I'll just, continue to hopefully maybe not have the activities, and I'll just tell their stories, or this one in particular. Okay, so my mom, after college, she married this guy she went to college with and moved to a city far away where they didn't know anyone. My family is like really big on nicknames, and so my mom, being the eldest girl of 7 siblings, everybody called her Sissy, but her name is everyone within the family called her Sissy, but her name is Barbara, right? So after college, she moves. I'm from a small town in southern Indiana, and so she moved to Cleveland to be with this man that she married. and he was a scientist, and sometimes he like worked really late into the night in the lab, and so she would be like home alone sleeping sometimes in the middle of the night by herself. And one night, you know, and remember the key, what I just said earlier about the nicknames. So she has this nickname, Sissy, that
Sissy.
if she moves to a new city, nobody's going to know her as that. They're going to know her as Barbara, right?
Unless she does something that, like, someone would be like, what are you sissy? Look at this
Sissy,
sissy
you
over there.
coward!
You coward, sissy. Look at this person.
No, my mom would probably not be having that. But anyways, so it's like, for some reason, she's just like sleeping soundly, and then in the middle of the night, she hears someone saying, "Sissy, wake up! Sissy, wake up!" And then she like feels something like a few seconds later, she like feels something push her. It's like, "Sissy, wake up!" And she wakes up, and she had this like really overwhelming urge that she needed to call home, call her parents' house.
But there's nothing there.
But there's nothing there. She hears this, she feels something nudge her, she hears a person say, "Sissy, wake up." And when she does wake up, it succeeds in awaking her from her sleep. And when she does wake up, she has this overwhelming urge that she needs to call home. So she gathers her senses enough, I guess the thing disappears and she calls home, and as it turns out, like 30 or 40 minutes before, her younger brother and what in another 7 to 8 years will be her future husband, which is her younger brother's like best friend, got in a really bad car accident, and they were both in the hospital, and they like were really messed up. They like both like they both were seriously injured from this car accident that happened like a couple hours before my mom was woken up out of her sleep and felt this overpowering urge to call home. Or I don't know the exact timeline, but it was like very close. And like I said, the other weird part of it too is that like, because of other things that were going on in the family and like another sibling that was starting to get sick, my mom ended up like leaving this guy in Cleveland and like left that marriage because she felt like she needed to go home. And then years later, she ended up marrying the man that was in the car accident with her younger brother that happened when she got woken up by the spirit, and that man is my father. And so yeah, she ended up later on marrying her younger brother's good friend, the neighborhood boy, and that's kind of how it happens in small towns. But anyways, something woke her up in the middle of the night, calling her by her name that nobody in Cleveland knew her by.
Yeah.
And there was no other person in their apartment. Something woke her up. She called home. There was a tragedy that happened within the family in a very short period of time before she called home. So she's told me this story. We went over it a lot, and it's always like, my aunt has had other things happen too that are kind of similar, but yeah, that's my story. A spirit woke my mom up and called home, and then there was something serious that she did need to call home about.
So, a big round of applause for the story. First off, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alandra.
Sure.
So that was your mom, and then it was the psychic experience was connected from your mother to your father. Would you say then that was connected in some way, right?
That experience and others, I think that was one of the experiences that was like one of the straws in the camel's back that made my mom feel like she couldn't be in Cleveland anymore and she needed to go back to Indiana and help with other things that were happening in the family, which then ended up leading to her marrying her younger brother's best childhood friend, who became my father.
what's your most psychic experience that you've ever had? Have you ever just made a call about something that you had no reason to know better about, and then all of a sudden you saw that you were right and you don't know why?
I mean, I've made calls about things that have turned out right,
Yeah.
that I wasn't sure why. Sure. But I feel like it was more so with my mom and my aunt. There's a bunch of other stories about dreams. She had a whole dream that kind of predicted me and my birth, and that was this scenario where she had a dream where a storm came and she was stuck back in the woods with her infant baby, and the creek got flooded and they couldn't cross. And 8 years later, she got pregnant. She had a little girl. Her and my dad, the dad that was in the accident, went mushroom hunting back in my family's land. It's like a thing in the springtime, and then it rained a whole bunch, and they were stuck back. And she wouldn't cross the creek because in the dream, when she tried to cross the creek holding me, they fell and it was bad. So she wouldn't cross the creek then. She had a premonition about something and she's like, I always knew I would have a baby girl because in my dream I had this baby girl and we were stuck in the woods because of the flood, and literally the exact same thing happened when I was an infant, and her and my dad got stuck in the woods mushroom hunting and there was a flood. And my grandfather, who owned a sawmill, had to drive the fucking forklift over the creek and up the mountain and save us the next day and bring us back down because he had proper logging equipment that can get over a flooded creek.
My God.
Cool. And your mom had the dream that saved your life.
That's right.
Yeah, it seems like your mom had the premonition, the ability for clairvoyance.
Yeah, her and my aunt had there's a similar story about being woken up, or my aunt had. I wish I could remember the details. My aunt was more I think connected than my mom.
Is that your mom's hat?
No.
It looks like it would belong to a psychic. Is all I'm getting at.
It does.
It looks like
I often get comments on this hat. It's the
+1 charisma.
All right. Well, thank you
Thank you
everyone
so
for
much,
entertaining my
Landry.
story.
Big round of applause for Landry. Gordon, you're not back on the stage. I'll watch you step. Here's some stairs right here. And just gentle down. Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Alandra. Thank everyone. What do we got? Let's thank something weird. Thank you, Cthulhu, for all that you might undo, instead of welcome, Gordon. How we doing?
I'm doing all right.
Any existential horror happening for you while you were off stage?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Soon, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's coming. I ate that food pretty quick. So.
Hey, Robert, do you know anything about the Eureka tunnels?
Oh.
Very little. What about the history of the word little? I mean, wasn't there a cartoon named Little Admiral with L-I-L?
What is little backwards?
Little backwards is the architect of the tunnel, underground secret tunnel system.
I really expected just some fun tunnel stuff.
Well, did the tunnels have anything to do with the Chinese history in Eureka? I think that's what I heard.
Nope, just Shanghai people.
Wow. I don't think either of those things. But I just think the tunnels sound cool, and
I honestly haven't known. I don't know anything about the
I just
secret
think
underground.
they gotta be paranormal. What went on in these tunnels? You don't have a tunnel without some shady business going on in the tunnel.
Yeah,
you don't have normal stuff going on in the tunnel. You don't go, I gotta go to the tunnel to get some milk. I gotta go to the tunnel because my shoes are worn out. Gotta go find some tunnel shoes.
The
That's not.
tunnels are full of glass and they take your shoes from you, so you can't walk away.
That would be
And
very
then you
frustrating.
wake up on a ship at sea.
It's like
Shanghai.
It's like
That's
Saw.
what the Eureka tunnels are all about.
I want to make an executive decision. Robert, thank you for coming on. I'm gonna switch you out with Brynn, and I'll have you back on in a little bit, Robert. I really appreciate you coming on.
About being stalked. Can I sit backwards?
Yeah, you can do whatever the hell you want. This is a free event. We don't even have to have a high quality production, you know? It's just we're here. But Brynn, if you want, come on down. You know, I think you're doing great. I love it. Robert, too, if you wanted to participate in the free giveaway, we have the stuff over on the table. You can grab one thing. All brought to you by Weird Howard, which you can follow on Facebook. Check out weirdhoward.com and stuff. Thank you. Welcome back, Brynn. I don't think the show is doing well without you here. I think we need you back.
And I thought,
That wasn't
I
me.
thought, you know, I'll just give them the light stuff, the very first paranormal experiences I had.
The light stuff?
Let's hear
Yeah.
some paranormal
I
stuff.
didn't want to hit you with anything heavy because none of you know me. And I
Are we
didn't want-
talking about light, like
Well,
luminous?
you know, the eyes of the entities coming out of my closet and the dark-eyed children at my windows.
You're actually more on camera this way.
Oh, no.
No, is
God,
that, I think?
you guys and
No,
your
Brynn,
technology.
you're not on camera. You're not on camera, Brynn. Gordon's giant head is blocking
Yeah,
you.
Gordon,
There we
take
go.
your
Gordon's giant
giant
head.
head and block
I told
the
Gordon,
face.
don't leave the hat on forward because if we're streaming, you have a shadow over your face. And Gordon
There we go.
totally listened, didn't he? This guy.
Yeah.
You can't find Bigfoot. You can't even find Gordon's face in the film. You know.
That's
This is-
important.
How are you gonna film a Bigfoot?
I'm supposed to be behind the camera. I'm not supposed to be in front of the camera.
This is all supposed
Damn
to be.
it!
You gotta get enough B-reel on the
You got a
on
bunch
the
of
live
people
stream.
join. I'm gonna wave.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch it. No, don't wave, That is not, it was very precariously mounted. It's gonna wiggle the entire rest of.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
would
looks
wiggle.
like
It's
it's
still
set up.
wiggling.
Who's got
when it was there.
superhuman strength?
I got superhuman strength. What are we doing? That's my
I got
paranormal
regular
ability.
human strength.
I don't want the mic to fall out, but I don't want to hold it either.
There you go, like down like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Subhuman strength.
Testing my levels.
All right, guys. What's another?
Nobody's
testicles.
Any
Testing
shout out
my levels.
recommendations about paranormal stuff? Anything we're not covering? Do we have any Mothman people in the crowd going, where's my Mothman representation?
my
Here's
favorite-
here's the most profound dream experience I've ever had in my life.
All right,
Let's
we're doing
hear it,
this.
Brynn.
We're doing this
My
first.
art therapist teacher,
Put some
Jan
Mothman
Ramsey,
in.
recently gave to me a painting I had done to help me with my dream yoga.
Dream yoga, what?
And so, she gave me the painting back. I hadn't seen it since the pandemic started. And I hung it up in front of, I actually hung it on my canopy bed to look at it while I was going to sleep. And then, 4 nights before the first big quake, I had a dream, a false awakening. I woke up and I dreamt that there was a huge earthquake and I was okay and nothing happened to me or anybody that I knew. We were all
Just a little
alright.
shaken.
So I told my people at my community center, I told my friends and my relatives and my son, I told them about how I had this dream, that I had a dream, that there was a big earthquake, but everything was all right with us.
No one believed you, did they?
No, they're always listening to my dreams. It's one of my things. I'm the founder of the Humble Dream Club.
What?
I
The
have-
Humble Dream
Are you
Club.
kidding me?
Humble Dream Club. What? All right.
I need to be a part of this.
so anyway, I shared it with my people, and
What's? Can you tell us about the Humble Dream
No,
Club?
no, no,
when I'm done with
When
my
you're done.
dreams,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So during the quake, my son dashed into my room, and I was holding my dog, who was quaking too. His nerves were going off. And my son said, "Come on, we got to get out of the house. It's going to collapse." And I said, "No, it's not. We're going to be okay. We're all right." I knew because of my dream that I would be okay. And I noticed that all their nerves were going off, and they had no control over their nervous systems. And I was in complete control of mine. So I held them, and the quake kept going on. So I repeated, "No matter what happens, we're gonna be okay." And then it stopped. And it was it was the third earthquake I'd experienced without having a nerve go off in my body. I had no fear of my nerves. Causing a heart attack during an earthquake like I thought for sure they might do to me. In my obese weight and my
You look
nervous
beautiful, Brynn.
condition. But through dreams and controlling my dreams, and listening to them and introducing my subconscious to my conscious mind. My subconscious said, don't worry about that quake, you're gonna be fine. And so I was. And it was by far to date my most profound dream experience.
That's gotta be the coolest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
Really?
Yeah,
Are you
no,
kidding me?
it's pretty. You gotta,
I am a super duper private person.
except for the dream club.
If you see me on social media, it's not me, it's my impersonator, Andy Bridenbaugh of 3005 Spring Street, Eureka, Black Hat Hacker.
We can't say, just erase everything.
No.
Well, I'm thinking
Black
like,
Hat
you know,
Hacker
it
uses
sounds
a
like
cell
the
phone
opposite.
tower simulator to hack everybody in a
Brynn, have you seen a
500
UFO or
meters.
anything like that? I love aliens. Aliens are
My
cool.
first UFO sighting happened when I was 10. It was 1976, and I was in Rhode Island in my grandmother's house, a 4-story home, which once had a store during the Depression in the basement. But I had been sent upstairs to dress for dinner, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw movement. And so I turned around and looked through the window. And there was nothing that I could describe with any language until I saw the beginning sequence of Star Wars, where they're going under the ships. I saw this gigantic thing going across the sky, and
That's
when
fishy.
it passed over, I ran to the other side of the house and I watched it go over the forest. And what do you say to your parents? I couldn't say anything except I saw this
Is that
thing
what you
flying
said?
over the house. Oh yeah, sure, you know. Eat your green beans, man. I've had so many times with my parents that I couldn't tell them what I saw. And I was labeled liar from day one.
What assholes?
I know. And that's their problem, not mine, I realized.
Yeah.
And so, you know, of course, they heard me clomp all the way across the apartment and then run down the stairs. And the next day, my mom said, hey, maybe you did see something anyway. There's an article about how a lot of people saw it in the paper. That's why you ran across the apartment, to see this thing you saw. It says so in the paper.
So did they say, I'm sorry for
Computer.
calling you a liar? Did
No, that still
that
doesn't work with my parents.
never worked its
I got
way in
this
there?
whole label with them.
You gotta go visit them. In
You
your
know, when you
dreams.
see
Just-
things that other people don't see, you get that label a lot.
Use your what do you call it? Your something dream where you
My
Astral
dream yoga?
project?
Well,
Yeah, but-
you know, I had the fortune of pulling the subject
Lucid.
out of a hat to give my first oral presentation in school on.
hell
My
yeah.
English teacher put a bunch of subjects into a hat, a black hat, a plastic one, and I pulled out a little
That's
slip
right.
that said dreams.
Haha.
Changed my whole entire life.
I'd love to use my.
I had to read 2 books about it and use a recent periodical. And the only recent periodical I could find was in Psychology Today about lucid dreaming.
Oh,
I
badass.
learned about lucid dreaming at age 14 and had my first one at age 18, and continue to have lucid dreams that don't have words to describe them to any of you to this day. I titled them though. My last one was called Spin Diving into the Breathtaking Blue.
I love it. Did you ever use a lucid dream to like astral project into someone else's dream and
I
lucid
can
dream
tell
and
when
beat the
I
crap
astral-
out of them?
I can tell when I astral project because I see my body and I'm like, how the hell am I gonna get back in there?
Where did that
One
ball come
time I
from?
went in through this middle finger, and one time I went in through the big toe on my right foot.
Have you ever seen a Bigfoot?
Nope.
No, me neither.
All right,
It bums me out.
I gotta hear about the dream group.
The Dream Group, Dream Club.
Dream
The
Club.
Humboldt Dream Club.
Humboldt Dream Club. You
Being-
guys meet.
Being the founder of the Humboldt Dream Club, it is my God-given right and authority to ask people, would you like to be
Can you
in
guys
the
start
Humboldt
meeting here?
Dream Club?
I want you guys to start meeting here for Dream Club. I want this to be your home spot. You guys are welcome here.
Really? I mean, we'll
If
take
you had
up
the
on
dream, you know where to meet us.
Yeah.
that. No, I mean, dreams are so important. We spend 35 years of our life on an average sleeping. And
Yeah.
scientists recently revealed where your old cells get replaced with your new ones only happens during REM. So if you want to keep yourself young, you
Listen
want to
to
be
REM.
strong and healthy, you need to have REM. You need to sleep enough. I sleep 8 or 9 hours a night.
I
I
sleep
do
so
not
much.
use technology. Technology stimulates me too much and I can't sleep and dream. So I avoid it like the plague. But I'm forced to use it all over the place.
No, that's a real thing though. Like scientists, psychologists, and people that study dreams know that if you are looking at your screen, like all of you,
My
you have a
favorite,
harder time going to sleep.
my favorite screen is an IMAX. I lived in Providence, Rhode Island, and I had an IMAX. I could go watch anytime I wanted to. One time I was the only person in the theater watching Shark Island. It was amazing.
They should make that an indoor
Sure.
climbing
It was
gym.
amazing.
I want to make an indoor climbing gym in one of those old IMAX
I like
theaters and call it
cinema
Climax.
screens and I like plasma television screens. Otherwise, I don't want to look at anything. And when people shove their phones in my face, they don't get a reaction that they like.
They never get a
And
good reaction out of
when
somebody
I'm
shoving
talking
their
to
phone in.
people and they're looking at their phone, I call that phone face.
Yeah.
Phone
I'm getting
face.
phone face.
You gotta get good
It's
memes.
rude, and I don't
Howard.
have anything to do with people who phone face me. Needless to say, I don't have a whole hell of a lot of friends.
Well, we love you here and know that you
No,
are
yeah.
always welcome, Brynn.
Yeah, right? Listen to that. That's all
These
for you.
people love you.
I
You're a really
haven't-
cool person,
for humble-
Brynn.
I haven't even
This is
begun
your
to
spot.
tell you the paranormal experiences that I've had.
All right,
And
let's do
dreams?
one more.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
do
I
one
gotta-
more, Brynn. You
I
have
gotta
the
hear.
floor.
This is the most fun I've had. In a while.
Let me see, which one? Which coast? Rhode Island, I
Give-
tell you.
give
Living
us-
in Rhode Island, in Massachusetts, in Connecticut, that's a different experience than what we deal with here.
Oh yeah, because you got different different ghosts and
And
cryptids.
unlike
They're all
around
pilgrims.
here, when you come upon them, you can feel them. They feel like spider webs. They slime you to a certain degree with ectoplasm. You can feel them back there because they're older. But around here, you don't get that age thing with the wraiths you run into.
We
Yeah.
do, you know, Brynn and Gordon, we have that other witness testimony that Gordon
Oh, yeah.
had. Brynn, did you want to listen to the story with us and give us
You
your
betcha.
input?
Okay.
And so we'll have, and then just like we're all going to listen in right now, this is another anonymous input that Gordon received through the Weird Howard site. This one looks like a long one, so don't forget to rack up a huge tab while you're here
Wait,
in
why-
order to support this show.
Why do you call it Weird Howard?
That's what he calls his
the
penis.
company.
No,
Comedy Nights Wednesday, people, come back.
seriously,
that's a
seriously, Howard, are you out there? Howard?
Howard.
Howard?
I just call mine Mini Howard, you know. Let's hear. Don't.
All right,
show
here we
it.
go.
Okay,
Here we go.
let's hear it.
Australia, 1980. I got to do the Australia. It starts with Australia. so
Australia,
Good eye.
1980.
We're doing military exercises together in the Indian Ocean, aka war games.
What kind of games? What?
War games.
Wall?
That's not war. This is war.
Don't laugh at it, it's serious.
Keep going. Keep going.
Fire.
We gotta fill time.
This includes ships, nuclear subs, and aircraft. During one of these exercises, something unexpectedly appeared from the sky which seemed to be fixated on one of the nuclear subs. A few fighter pilots from the Enterprise were doing a reconnaissance flight. One pilot radioed that they had some anomaly which suddenly appeared on their radar. You know, I think some of this got released recently. So I wonder if this is like a first-person account of what was going on, because there was a big info dump. Well, how long ago was the 80s? Like 50 years?
Give me
There was a
break.
minute, yeah.
My 40th year reunion is coming up in 84.
Wow.
Class of
Ceasefire.
84.
Ceasefire. I'm not ready to become a ghost. Second pilot also noticed it. They radioed the Enterprise to inform them of this. The object then came into sight. It seemed to be taunting the pilot, zigzagging in and out, and circled them in the air. Even with all their maneuvering and training, the pilots could not shake this object. They began taking aerial photos. The object had a stealth-type triangular shape. It was metallic with glowing lights underneath, which oscillated in one direction. That sounds like a typical triangular UFO. Didn't we have a UFO encounter?
If by what?
Didn't we have one over here? Like
Yeah, we have. We
I
have
had
really
one
good
here in
footage.
August. My son witnessed it too. It was an amber ball that
Oh my God, that's
separated
exactly.
into two and was
yeah.
back together.
This
And
is why this is why Eureka is the most paranormal place in the world.
That's what I was gonna say too. It'll be so quick. The UFO that I saw when I was a kid had the same appearance as the one that we saw in a recent. If you follow Paranormal Open Mic on Instagram, or if you check it out, get your friend's phone. If you're not on Instagram, we have actual footage of a real UFO. It's a real video where we have a fireball UFO over the city, and it disappears, and it's all raw footage. There's no. You can tell exactly what you're looking at. You see it disappear, and it's from one of our buddies that actually comes to the Siren Song a lot.
How
He
long
came in.
ago?
This was like 2 weeks ago. But,
Yeah, that's the same thing I saw.
So yeah, it's like it was a fireball UFO. It looks like it's on
Way
fire,
up
but
above
glowing.
the county courthouse.
And you guys at home, if you saw it too, let us know in the comments.
I can, yeah.
Commanding pilots. Communication was able to relay a message to the nuclear sub, which was in the area. They gave coordinates of where the object was last seen submerging into the ocean. The sub was in the vicinity and changed course. Within 2 minutes, the sub arrived at the location. They saw nothing out of the ordinary. However, there seemed to be rock cliffs surrounding a very deep cravat, which was over 2,000 feet deep. The sub picked up a humming sound but saw nothing. Then suddenly, a metallic object came out of the deep cravat at an extremely high rate of speed. Just like the fighter planes, it circled the sub several times, then shot up to the surface where it was once again picked up on radar. The sub decided to surface.
Keep it in your Australian accent.
Yes, please. Thank you.
As it sat above water, the fighter planes continued to watch the object. Suddenly, several more objects appearing from below the water. A total of 5 metallic objects surrounded and hovered above the sub. Each object oscillated lights, which seemed to vary in color and speed.
Now a Jamaican accent. Switch it up.
No. It was no. Was if the objects were communicating with each other by the speed and color which their lights oscillated. Sounds like what's that movie? The Steven Spielberg.
Seventh kind.
Yeah, that's it. The seventh. Yeah.
Closest kind is the second.
Seventh kind in heaven.
Third kind. Fourth kind.
15th kind.
There's a lot of encounters.
What point is like fornication with aliens? That's like 7 or 8, right? I
Yeah.
got to
That's-
8 space.
That's all of them for
that's
me
the
every
first
time.
because it's face-to-face contact.
Gotta get some STDs, space TVs.
Jesus Christ.
No, is it third time?
Jeez.
I was gonna
I
make
know.
like a G-rated joke about like kitchen encounters, you know, and had, you know, cooking on counters, you know, but let's go into the probing.
The
We
sub
gotta
began
probe.
having mechanical communications and instrument problems for which their mechanics could not resolve. Communications were garbled and electronics were going haywire. One of the main concerns was the nukes and missiles. chambers were popping open on their own, which was virtually impossible, yet the impossible was occurring. Suddenly, the objects that had been taunting and surrounding the nuclear sub started darting straight up in an orderly formation. They began darting in and out of the fighter planes and around the Enterprise, which was heading to the area. The object's speed was well over Mach 5, yet no sound barriers were broken. They continued their aerial acrobatics for another 20 to 30 minutes and disappeared at a very high rate of speed. They had been on radar and suddenly disappeared. Some went into the sky while others went under the water by the deep trench. Electronics, mechanical communications were restored on the sub. Everything went back to normal operations. The Royal Australian Navy also encountered these metallic objects. Like the Americans, they had no explanation as to what they were or what their intentions were. That's not an unidentified object. This is an unidentified. I'm sorry. During debriefing, it was agreed these objects were highly intelligent and superior to any of our military capabilities. They could easily taken out a nuclear sub, fighter planes, and ships. They didn't appear to be hostile, but did show a bit of what they were capable of.
What was that?
Due to this exercise, it was assumed to be some new kind of technology from either the Australian or American governments. This was not the case, which was discussed at the debriefing. Both governments were contacted and reports sent to NORAD and the CIA, along with reconnaissance photos.
That's the same thing they said about the one I saw in Rhode Island. It was something on its way to Quonset Air Force Base nearby.
Yeah, they don't care. They're not going to tell us. It's the government. They're
What's
yeah,
up
everything's
with that?
fine. But that sub is on fire and that train derailed. Everything's fine.
Growing up, I saw UFOs from 12th Street, which they now in Fortuna, which they now call the Riverwalk or whatever.
Yeah.
We used to always party and get stoned out there, and we watched UFOs with their blue tractor beams look at stuff on the ground on the mountains above.
Those bastards.
You know,
I'm
we did have
sure we were
someone in
drinking a
here.
keg, but we could see what we saw.
Brynn, there was like, we had someone in a couple weeks ago from that area, and they were talking about there's like a helicopter base close by on a mountain range, kind of near where you're describing, and they had a stealth helicopter that was like secret or something, because you couldn't hear this helicopter, and it would follow on Cannibal Island Road,
No, don't even
in
get
that
me
area.
started on that road.
Yeah, and so like I think some of it could be explained through like secret military operation, because there is, I forget where,
Well,
but it's in that area. It's like a secret aerial base.
Me and one of my best buddies that I went to
Aircraft,
Ferndale
yeah.
High with, Ronan Rodoni, she opened up a place called the No Brand Burger Stand right there
Oh, yeah.
as you go into
Yeah.
Ferndale. And
yeah.
Oh, everybody
Get your
loves it.
burgers there, guys.
Woo!
everybody would come there for lunch.
We have
And
some great
these new guys showed up, and we were like, hey, where are you guys from? Oh, we're building a submarine fueling station under the water out at Centerville. Oh,
Fucking
okay,
idiots.
thanks for that private information. Growing up in Ferndale, we learned lots of things like L. Ron Hubbard's big old huge cave, and all his doctrines are right up above town in
Yeah,
the
he's
secret
frozen.
cave.
He's frozen in there.
He's
It's
probably
cool.
up there too.
Yeah, it is cold over there.
But numerous of us would go to Table Bluff out in Lolita. This is before there was any native houses built there for them, and we would watch blue lights move back and forth from like Eureka back to Table Bluff underground, and we'd be out there getting stoned and meditating and
Hell yeah.
As you do.
communicating with the music of the spheres or whatever, but we saw that stuff, and so did a lot of other people. And the rumor was there was a base for UFOs in Table Bluff, up there on the
There's certainly enough
left-hand side
room.
of the
Oh
jet.
yeah, I mean it's a nice place. If I was gonna come from another galaxy, I would.
I went to Fortuna High, and we based all our barn parties right around there. So there must have been something mystical about it.
Speaking of frozen heads, did you ever hear the conspiracy that Disney released the movie Frozen? They called it Frozen, so that if you searched for Disney Frozen, you wouldn't get any search results about his frozen head being stored under Magic Kingdom.
I gotta ask you
That's
this.
cool. Yeah, that makes
All right,
sense.
yeah.
Why do you waste all your time believing in that baloney? That's a waste of investigative space. You're wasting something you heard on the internet. That's bull.
That needs to be put back on.
Concentrate on what's going on in real life around you.
I'll wait
Okay.
until I get
Okay, yeah, give me
Do we
5
need to
minutes.
take a quick break?
You know, actually, what time is it? Because I feel like we've gotten plenty of time in on this event. What do you guys want us to keep going? We can,
No,
Keep
we're
yeah,
going.
keep going.
We're good.
We can keep going. Okay.
No, you don't go. We're
How
good.
did I
and
get
then-
worked into this co-hosting position?
It's
No,
fun.
I'm gonna
Brynn,
hear
yeah,
about-
Monday night, be here, Brynn, and we will give you all the time in the world to be a co-host of this show. You guys like Brynn? I like Brynn, right? Big round of applause for Brynn. Hell yeah.
Thank you.
How many of you guys also want Gordon to stay too, but only in the Australian accent from now on? Only Australian accent, Gordon.
Crikey.
That's gonna have to be. Actually, let me see, because how many of you guys had a story you wanted to share tonight? Was there any? We still have some
Two
stories.
people.
You got one
We're
up
getting
here?
volunteered.
All right, we're
It's
gonna do a
probably
rotation
short and
quick.
can use this
Brynn, we'll
microphone.
have you on next week. If I could switch you out with, can I get the person with the story up here
If I
really
can
quick?
find my way, I'll be here.
Quick story. We're gonna finish up this show here so we can get Liza her stepladder, but I don't have to sacrifice any of this wonderful streaming footage
I
that
could
I've
probably.
acquired.
I'm pretty tall. I could probably reach.
I know, it's okay. This is a long event. Every stream that we do, we have like 2 hours and 10 minutes. It's just crazy
I'm
long.
gonna compress.
Don't forget to buy some drinks. We got drinks to go. You guys can get some gift certificates. I got my cool little merch over here, the little hoodies and shirt. Thank you for coming out. We'll see you again probably next Monday, right? And then, sir, what was your name?
Anonymous user number 5.
Anonymous user number 5.
everybody.
And could you get your microphone? You have to be like this far away or closer. Yeah, just kind of close. Anonymous user number 5. What is your paranormal experience you'd like to share tonight?
So this is going to be unexplained phenomenon in the sky type thing. So I was doing a Boy Scout event. We were sorting through reeds trying to fill orders for a thing. So we were working in the truck. I had stepped outside with a few other people because a bunch of jackasses were sitting in the truck, destroying the merchandise instead of actually working, as 15-year-old boys do. So all of a sudden we were kind of sitting taking, because we were all taking a break, and there was like 3 of us outside, I think, and all of a sudden, this is night, about 8 o'clock at night in the middle of winter, right around Christmas time. The sky just gets bright, as is like day, for about 2 seconds. And then big ball fire, then gone.
Ooh.
And I just was like, that was weird. And I looked at the other guys and we're like, I don't know what the hell happened.
Ball of fire, how big? How close to the ground?
It was up in the sky, but it looked like it, if you were sitting looking up in the sky, it was probably, 12 feet across. Big
Okay.
circle. I was like, middle of the night. I was like,
What was it?
you tell me.
It was a UFO.
Okay, there you go.
All
Here's
right,
the
guys,
UFO.
mystery solved. It was the reptilians. We knew it.
Damn it.
What color flames was it?
It was bright. It was red around the edge. It was more of like, it looked like the sun, except bigger, closer, and there and gone.
That could have been a comet, actually.
Well, that's consistent with the other UFO stuff. With the other two this evening, with the local sighting, there's a big red.
Well, this was
crested yellow,
a
like
while
fire.
ago. This wasn't.
This was when I was 15, so that was.
Yeah.
You
Mine
don't have
was
to
when I
give
was
us
a kid.
any information.
Back in the 20s,
This was also in Wisconsin.
in Wisconsin. You didn't pronounce it right, isn't it? Wisconsin.
However you want to pronounce it's fine for you, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, however
I don't know
you
if
pronounce
that's
it, it's
fine.
got to be cheesy.
So no sound with the encounter. Do you think that, or was there sound?
I didn't hear any, but there was people being dicks in the van next to me that, you know, was.
They always ruin a good encounter.
Yeah.
The best encounters are when you're by yourself, and you either see something amazing or you never get seen again.
Oh, that's the second one's kind of scary.
Well, you know, you've been alive recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the trade-off.
It's,
Do you think that you saw the UFO or whatever you saw? Do you think it had anything to do with you personally? Have you seen anything like that before or since?
No, not really.
Nothing to do with you. Do you have any? Did you have any sort of sensational things like mind fog, strange experiences that were
Time
personal to you
loss.
afterwards?
Loss of
Rashes,
time.
loss of time.
Yeah.
No.
EVPs. Any
No.
EVPs?
No.
Who was there with you?
It was my scoutmaster and one of the other boys that were just outside the truck.
Did you get a merit badge for it?
No, I got a free pass to go to summer camp this year that I didn't have to pay for.
Did you make it to Life Scout but never to Eagle?
No, I made it to Eagle.
Hell yeah, I'm an Eagle Scout too.
Me too.
All right. No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
All right, this is the test, guys. A scout is trustworthy,
honorable,
loyal,
friendly,
helpful, friendly. Come on,
courteous,
you too, right?
kind,
obedient, cheerful,
cheerful,
thrifty,
thrifty,
brave, clean,
and
reverent.
reverent.
Why didn't you participate? I don't trust that.
Because
Okay, we'll do
he's
the
like,
scout.
I don't give a
We'll do the
fuck,
scout oath
man.
now.
Are you kidding me? It's
On my
stupid.
honor. On my honor, I'll do my best.
To do my duty.
Well, let him do it.
Oh, sorry.
Hey.
To God and my country, right? I just want to verify.
Oh my God.
He's not an Eagle Scout. This is
Nobody's
stolen
gonna want to come
valor.
up and do paranormal
Stolen
open
valor.
mic if we verify everything.
Captain of the Boy Scouts.
I'm more of a Kegel Scout.
We don't want to
now,
talk
right?
about Brynn.
We really appreciate it. One more time for the audience. What was your name again?
Anonymous.
Anonymous
user
user
five.
number 5. Thank you, Anonymous user number 5. We appreciate the story. Guys, we got one more, Jeff? We got one more. All right, guys, we got Jeff coming down. Everyone, put your hands together for
We
Jeff.
should do a paranormal build your own car derby. What are those wooden car
The only
things?
paranormal car brand in America. This car comes to you haunted, you know. From the get-go, it's on. Thank you for coming on, Jeff. Hey, how we doing?
Screams and bleeds and
Okay.
batteries
What's-
not included.
What sort of subject matter are we getting into today?
Alright, so this is a ghost story.
Ghost story, guys.
Hesitant to tell this one, but
Those are the best ones.
here we go. Alright. In Ohio, which is where I'm from, like right outside the gates of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. This is like home of Hangar 18, which
Yeah,
is
there's a ghost alien.
where they sent the aliens after Hangar 51. I don't know if you know this. Not really.
Actually 15.
Hangar 15.
That was from last week.
Area 15. Alright.
Someone reading.
So here I am, 20 years old. I married young, had a kid young, and certain financial situations arise when you marry young, you have a kid. You gotta accept certain habitats that are like not ideal. Maybe
The van down by the river.
maybe haunted, maybe run down, maybe in the ghetto. So I was in this duplex, and it had this basement, no windows in the basement. Had the washer and dryer and like the heater.
Oh, hey, that's something.
Had a room that had a dirt floor. There's pretty sure like some buried bodies, but I never checked. Never wanted to check. Down there doing laundry, just standard, carrying the basket down. Got chills, like a standard. That basement always gave me like the heebie-jeebs.
Are you a powdered laundry detergent?
No,
person?
liquid.
Liquid,
Always
right.
liquid.
You guys do your laundry?
What?
So you're in the laundry room and a ghost
In the basement.
in the basement.
The creepy basement. I can't emphasize this enough. This is like the creepiest basement.
What makes it creepy?
Level 4 haunted.
Well, so the light switch is at the bottom, and I would hit it and I would run up the stairs, like as fast as I could, and I just felt like this
Chasing you.
It's coming.
like this negative thing. I don't know. I don't like to talk about that part, but
Give you the fishing wire.
because that's right. I should have. Oh, damn it! I should have done that.
Yeah, a series of pulleys.
So
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all speculative, but what I do know, so I was down there, laundry night. I dumped all my laundry in the machine, turned it on, and I set the basket on top of the dryer, right? And like I got the chills. It's like I can't describe how creepy it is to like just in this very moment. Like the air was cold, the hair was standing on the back of my neck. I've never been through that before, and I haven't since. And you almost I froze. I didn't know what to do. I don't know what you do in that situation.
You yell.
You yell.
Yeah, you sure yell.
So the basket's on top of the dryer, and I turned around, and then like I just got like I froze. Like I literally like my body wouldn't move, and the basket flipped up over my right shoulder and landed in front of me about 2 feet.
That's gonna be a nope for me.
Tell me this is true. Tell me this actually happened.
This actually happened.
Tell me.
100% happened.
It flipped. Who was there? Who flipped it?
There were no noises.
Show me your forearm right now. Let's see it. Where's your goosebumps? We gotta verify this. You don't get your goosebumps on your forearms, huh?
This is
We'll
not,
trust that there.
It's not kosher. I didn't know what happened.
What? It flipped over the back of your head.
So here's like I'm a scientific guy. Like maybe it was like pools of carbon dioxide in the basement that had no windows. I don't know what. Flipped over my shoulder, landed in front of me, and then I unfroze. I walked around the basket. Didn't even bother turning off the light for the basement.
No,
The light stayed on. The light stayed on. Up the stairs. And I got to the top of the stairs and like I was so
And then you make
trained.
your kid go get the basket.
I can't do
As a
laundry.
1-year-old, get down there.
Yeah.
It's safe. I
What's
promise.
a ghost gonna fuck with a 1-year-old? That's
What
fucked
kind of
up.
ghost would do that?
Even ghosts won't do that.
Assholes. So I sat down at the kitchen table and I just like stared straight forward, like trying to process what had happened, and I could not come up with an explanation.
This
Like, I don't know.
actually happened.
Yes, and so I
believe you.
I believe
I'm
you.
getting.
I
That's why we're
still
here.
haven't
We're
figured
here
out.
for this.
Maybe the dryer kicked on and like edged the basket off. Like I've replayed like
What
events.
brand of dryer was it?
I
Was
don't
it
know.
Sears?
It was cheap. I was so
Kenmore?
poor. It might have been like
You
one
were
of those Jimmy
running
Rig
LG.
dryers.
That sounds like an LG product.
That's
I get harassed by basement ghosts a lot.
Basement
They
ghosts are
like
real.
the basements.
That's what-
Especially.
What do you want
Dude,
to say,
she's
Marvin?
the new co-host
host.
next week, starting
No,
next
I'm
week.
gonna hear what Marvin has to say. What's up, Marvin?
I just did a reading of how you describe it. That's true. It happened.
You just did a reading and it's true?
Yeah.
There we go.
Confirmed.
Done.
So I went back down there just to make sure that like I didn't like hallucinate, that it was like not a pool of like gas that I imagined it, and then the basket was there on the ground.
That's insane.
The hair wasn't standing up anymore.
So does that screw with you through today? Like
No,
you're alone and you're
no,
just trying
I
to
try to
ignore it?
justify it. I was like, it was a pool of carbon dioxide, or I don't even know, monoxide.
How many of you guys think it was carbon monoxide? Raise your hand.
Nobody
How
believes
many of you guys
it.
think it
One
was a
guy
real life
believes it.
ghost?
It
Clap
was
your hands.
paranormal, accept it.
It was a paranormal.
Oh.
What about a non-paranormal ghost? It's just like a regular ghost, you know? Just- those
like
ones are
reading a
normal.
newspaper,
They're
like-
normal ghosts.
Oh, a
What kind of
supernatural
guys?
one?
Let's let Jeff, because this is an important story. Jeff, tell us more. You got to tell us more about it. What do you think it was? Why did it happen to you? Was it the house?
All right, if I had to guess,
That's a house.
I can only guess. That place burned down 2 years after I moved out.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
water
Why
you
did
go
you burn
press.
it down? That
Yeah.
doesn't sound reasonable.
Bad
Because I couldn't do
Bad
my
memories.
laundry.
No, I don't understand why. Like, the whole place was just like bad. mojo.
Bad, yeah.
Juju. Bad
Yeah, I
bad
said
juju.
it was
Bad
a
juju.
laundry
The
fire.
place is a complete
Yes.
mess.
It had demons in it.
It might have.
No,
Guys, we can't make assumptions like this. This is a serious paranormal night.
This is exactly why we have paranormal nights to make
Yeah.
assumptions like this. This is great.
Leap to any conclusions.
Where were you? What sort of state of mind? So you said you weren't really trying to live in this house, so you weren't thrilled about the house, and the house
No, it
felt
was
bad.
It was $400 a month for a 2-bedroom.
Oh yeah, no, that place was super haunted.
I
Yeah.
think I can get. If you have to
You have a bunch of spiders all in there.
discount on the rent, it's definitely suspect.
Maybe
That's-
maybe a thread from your sweater got caught up, and as you ran, it like.
Are there any other
Stop.
paranormal experiences that you had in this house?
Damn it. Yes.
Okay, let's hear
All
it.
right, never mind.
Part two.
Yeah,
Part
this
two.
All right.
Or do you want to come back next
One
week?
last one.
One last
One
one.
last
I'll make it quick. And
All right.
I still can't explain this one. This one is like really haunted.
I'm excited about this one.
All right. So normally I sleep upstairs in the bedroom, but decided to sleep downstairs. My daughter's
In the
mom.
basement.
No,
In the circle.
no. Oh no, in
Star.
the middle floor. So like
Oh,
right when you walk in the door, we had like a pull-out couch. We slept there. We turned on the TV. We're like watching a movie. Like we're doing like a camp out thing. And downstairs we have a perfectly good bed upstairs, but it's just we're downstairs on the pull-out couch.
All right. As you do, you got kids. You get the pillow fort going. You watch
Yeah.
Yeah, I
You
get
just
it.
gotta get to it.
I get it.
So we wake up. It's like 3 a.m, and
The worst time to wake up.
yeah, it was
Witching hour.
really. I think it was. I don't.
The TV's all.
Let Jeff talk. Let Jeff talk.
No, I like this. So we so I wake up first, and I look like above me, and it. Okay, so disclaimer: it might have been like a passing car and some gas in the house. I don't know. There's like
What is there, a gas leak?
there might have been a gas leak, but there's like a floating cloud above me that almost looks like an electric cloud. Like I've never seen anything like it.
It wanted to sleep on the couch.
I know I should have given it space, but I'm selfish because I want to watch TV before I fall asleep.
Sitting there like, I'm gonna set this place on fire.
13 to 14 more times. So no, so it was above me, sparkling, and it freaked me out, and I shook my daughter's mom awake, and I was like I pointed to it. I didn't say a word because I was actually like terrified. I couldn't speak, and it was
Level 15 on
and she screamed, but I was way more cool. I'll have that noted for the record. It was not me that screamed. Can you get that on recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, everybody believes it.
No, it wasn't
You
me.
just couldn't hear her
No.
scream
That
over
guy.
yours.
Correct.
That guy doesn't believe it.
Silence. No, he believes it.
Yeah.
So no, but okay, well I'm not proud about this part, but I actually pulled the covers over my head.
That's my MO.
Yeah.
That is what everyone does, though. I
Yeah,
actually
no, that's-
wanted to bring that up as a
It's like
subject.
better than salt circles.
No, it protects. I made sure my feet were inside the covers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you leave your feet out, they get them.
No, every time.
Yeah. That's just
Haunting
like
101.
haunting 101. Yeah.
Ghosts
Everyone
are into
knows that. Pulled them in. Yeah, and I was safe. I think I fell back asleep in terror. And then we woke up the next morning, and I actually asked her. I was like, "Do you remember what happened?" And she's like, "Yeah, I don't
She
know what
starts
happened." Like that. That didn't make
Chanting
any
at you in
sense.
Aramaic in response.
Her head spun around.
I'm gonna go do the laundry.
It's fine.
Oh yeah, that ghost is
Embarrassing.
downstairs.
So that's my stories. But
That was amazing.
the house is
That was great.
the house is scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For that price, of course it's gonna be.
I
Scary.
mean, I'd still do it again. It was $400 a month, 2-bedroom.
Yeah. So like, and nothing from. Is there more to the story that you haven't shared? More about the house.
No, that was
More
it.
about-
I got the fuck out. Sorry.
Yeah, imagine. No, you're allowed to swear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's over 12 in the crowd, right? Yeah, we're
Passed
good.
it off to a friend, and
Who brings a 12-year-old to paranormal night on the Monday?
Somebody that wants to do psychological damage.
long-term psychological.
You didn't
If
do
I
the
need
laundry,
a
we're gonna
witness,
take
I'll
you.
bring one.
Yeah.
So
Hey, there we go.
that's my story.
Guys, stick around, Jeff. I think we're gonna wrap it up with that. I think that's gonna be. Do we have anyone else who is really trying to get on tonight? Raise
No.
your hand. Nobody. Nobody. Hell yeah, guys, thank you so much. My name's Peter Nelson. We got Jeff, and we got Gordon Clatworthy here. Jeff,
Are
that's
we
his
gonna be
name.
back next week?
We're going to be back here next week. Don't forget, guys, you can follow Paranormal Open Mic on Instagram. I also do a really funny satire column, a lot like The Onion, called The Rattlesnake Report. Go to comedyhumboldt.com. Check it out. That has nothing to do with this event. I'm just shameless self-promotion.
Oh,
Guys, don't forget, you can always get stuff to go here. And then we, what else?
Except for alcohol.
Tomorrow night, what's tomorrow? We got Siren Sessions Open Jam, which is just really good music for hours. So if you guys like music, then come on by. It's really fun. We get started around 8. And then Wednesday is comedy night, and I'll be funny. Oh, I wasn't funny tonight. I'll be funny then.
Like somebody's out there like, I don't like music.
Yeah, I don't like music or comedy. Paranormal Open Mic on Instagram. And don't forget to check out anything involving local art. Support the arts. And come and tip your bartender, because it's going to be me in 2 seconds. What's up, buddy?
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Give yourselves a big round of applause. That's it. We'll see you next week. Go be haunted.
Go be haunted? That's the worst. Oh my god.
Go be
Did you
haunted.
not hear any of these stories, Peter?
You know, I believe you.
It's
Yes. No, I can tell. Well, if you need some information, I can tell you now. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, there's this guy over there. I said about this.